It's a wet day here in Salt Lake, but the Smarts are here, and Elizabeth's mother, Lois, just testified. Many spent their morning here.
The view from up here isn't half bad, but the steep terrain is another story. In custody right now, being held in the Utah County Jail.
11 News reporter Brenna Olson, she's been talking with people from the neighborhood all morning. Brenna?
Yes, Jake, there's just debris and burnt homes left at this point. You can see the small plane's door right there. The FAA is here soaking wet, investigating what exactly happened last night. And the people here just feel very fortunate that no one was hurt and the pilot is recovering. Pilot Clayton Roop is recovering this morning in the burn center at University of Utah Hospital, still in critical but stable condition. Neighbors who saw the accident say Roop's hands and face were severely burnt when they found him laying on the ground near his plane.
He had obvious burns on his hands and his face. He didn't even hardly look injured from the waist down.
Just before 6 p.m. last night, Roop was flying his Cessna 220 from St. George to the Ogden-Hinckley Airport. Police say he was struggling in that heavy fog we had across the Wasatch Front and clipped a power line, sending him to the ground right in the middle of this Roy neighborhood.
This crash could have been so much more horrific to our community. A house that one of the houses on fire that had near miss of direct impact had 14 people around the dinner table having a family dinner.
The accident forced about a dozen families out of their homes last night, but most went home within a few hours. This house where the plane crashed and the house behind it caught fire from the blast. Those two families are staying with relatives right now. Very shocking and scary for the people here, but this isn't the first time something like this has happened in this neighborhood. In fact, it's the fourth plane crash in the last 21 years here. Now, the last plane crashes, some of them have been a lot worse, so people here just feel very fortunate. In Roy, Brenna Olson, 11 News.
Wow, amazing the pilot wasn't killed. Thanks, Brenna. Keep us posted.
11 News reporter Brenna Olson joins us. Brenna, things must be really tough at Orem Junior High right now.
Yeah, both girls involved were students at the school, and kids say that news of the accident and then the death of their friend was very hard.
My last words to her, I really wish I could change.
Henry Palomo said he considered Madison Meekum a good friend, and his words, "Can I have $1?" the day before her death seems so trivial now. Students at Orem Junior High quickly got word of their friend's death last week, and emotions were high for the friend they lost and the friend who caused the accident. The two girls were classmates, which students and teachers say only doubled the tragedy.
It's just so important to allow the students to be able to express their feelings verbally or written, or obviously today they were able to dress and wear pink to express their love for their classmate.
Alpine School District sent a crisis team, along with the regular counselors at the school, to help the kids deal with their feelings and talk through the situation. They also dedicated a day to Madison Friday, starting off with a moment of silence, then playing one of Madison's favorite songs over the intercom and placing posters up and down the halls.
We actually all were smiling more.
A fully decked out locker also honored Madison in style, which Palomo says gave him the perfect opportunity to make amends for his last words to her.
I walked into her locker and put the $1 in there, thinking that she deserved it more.
The case of the 13-year-old driver is now making its way through the juvenile court system, and this isn't the first time this family has experienced this type of loss. Madison's dad also died in a car accident a few years ago.
What a hard time for both families.
Thanks, Brenna.
Newly scattered seeds are taking root on the mountainside of Harriman this morning.
You just grab a whole bunch of seed and throw it out, and then walk a little bit more and throw more seed out.
Not a typical UEA break for most teenagers, but last Thursday and Friday, more than 700 volunteers hiked up to get the job done. As the Camp Williams fire ripped through 275 acres a few weeks ago, Harriman City says they knew mudslides and flooding would be their next battle.
Our focus immediately shifted to those prevention methods.
The fire wiped out most of the mountainside's vegetation, which is necessary to hold back moisture and keep the mud from sliding. But Martin says reseeding the area is a huge task.
Helicopters took care of the hard-to-reach areas, but the rest needed to be done by hand. Harriman City asked people to donate their UEA break to help out. Ann Martin says the response was impressive.
We knew exactly what we needed to get the job done. We were able to get all of the volunteers we needed within 48 hours of putting out the call for help.
Church groups, high school groups, and families suited up in long pants, no shorts allowed, to scatter the seeds. After checking in and signing a waiver, each group grabbed a map and purple wristband before heading to their designated area.
We were up at the very top, and it was fairly steep.
After a few hours and a few minor slips, volunteers completed the reseeding, checked out, and headed home.